is the voice of him that crieth in the wilderness. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a
came and took me, gave me a resting place. Thank you for amazing grace. You kept on covering me in the midst of all my wrong. You stayed right by my side. Your love was my guide. Gotta do what I could, even though I ain't what I should. Jermaine, darling, I told you, but I used to.
All right. Good afternoon, Middle Georgia. Good afternoon, Macon. Good afternoon, Perry. Good afternoon, Fort Valley. Good afternoon, Warner Robbins. Good afternoon, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, Periscope Live, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, LinkedIn, to everybody that is on live and alive. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Glory 107.9 FM. You indeed are on with Don, and it is 1:15 on Monday, so that means that it is time for our Money Monday segment. All right. Once again, it is time for our Money Monday segment. Now, that being said, we have been saving since the beginning of the year. I want to give a special shout out to those that are on the live and those that are listening. Do me a favor, hit that share button, let somebody else know that we're getting ready to talk about some money. Special shout out to the First Lady. I hype to your godbrother, your godson, your godnephew, Vertice Z. Rosier. Let's talk about some money real quick. Now, if you remember on last week, we talked about our savings, and we talked about filling out a budget, if you remember. And in talking about filling out a budget, there was something that we have done since the beginning of the year, and that was saving. And in our savings, we have put aside every Monday at 1:15 some money, right? And if we put aside that money every Monday at 1:15, then we should have some good money saved up by now. So the reason that I suggested that we fill out the budget, which we have available for you in our 52-week savings plan link on our website, which is www.wddo.live. Once again, that's www.wddo.live, and it's on the screen. When you go there, you can click on the 52-week savings plan, and when you click on that, there's a folder that says Real Estate Granny. You click on that folder, you will see the budget in there. You can download it, you can fill it out and do whatever with it from that point. But we just wanted to do it just for a general sense so that we could see what our monthly budget is. Okay, so our monthly budget gives us a gauge on how much money we have, how much money we spend every month. All right, so that being said, every month we have a certain amount of bills that we are responsible for that come through like clockwork. We know we have rent, mortgage, we have car notes, we have insurance, we have utilities, we have food, we have gas, things of that sort. We got child care, and other incidentals that we definitely have on a monthly basis. The reason that we did the budget was so that we could see exactly what it is we spend on a monthly basis. And if you filled it out and you took the time to do it, if you haven't, still take the time to do it. And I'll tell you exactly why we were suggesting that you do that. So if you've filled out the budget already, you see what it is you spend every month. Okay. So, hey, Cynthia CRC. So, since you see what it is you spend every month, for a start, let's look at how much we've saved since January 1 to now, right? And this is before we touch it to do anything with it, because we were saving the money. So let's talk about it real quick. So since we have filled out the budget and we have saved some money, let's look at what our monthly budget is versus what we have saved. All right. If our monthly budget versus what we have saved shows that we still have money left over at the end of the month per having saved, we're doing really, really well. That means that you can cover your monthly budget for at least 1 month with what you have saved. Hey, Darcina Taylor. All right. And since you can cover what you spend in a month with what you have saved, we're on the right track. What my suggestion is to you, before you spend a dime of this money that you've saved, try to make sure that you have at least 3 months of living saved. That means whatever your budget is, times 3. Make sure you have at least that liquid cash in your savings account, checking account, wherever you've been putting the money. All right. Let's make sure that we have at least 3 months. And this is just a suggestion. Now, you don't have to, but we're talking about money. And we're changing our trajectory and what we do and how we see money. So have 3 months set aside. That 3 months is not for a rainy day or anything like that, but you have 3 months operational. So if you're off for 3 months, if you're laid off, if something unexpected like what happened last year, where it happened again, for 3 months, you are good. And that's 90 days. And usually a lot can happen in 90 days. So if you have 3 months that you have just sitting there, leave it sitting there and put it in an interest bearing place where it can actually grow while it's sitting there. But you can reach it if you need to reach it. All right. So that's what we want to do first. And so if you've saved and you have 3 months worth of living saved up, let's keep that there. Let's leave that there. And then whatever you have over, then we can talk about what we're going to do for Christmas and all the other things. We didn't just save so that we can spend it all on Christmas. No, we saved so that we can have some money in the bank. And what we want to gear towards is have at least a year. We're starting with 3 months, or we can start with 1 month, wherever we got to start with. We just want to start. How about that? Okay. So we want to gear it up. So right now, if you've saved all year long and you've completed your budget and you do your budget times 3, if you have at least 3 months worth of living, right, that you can leave in that savings, let's do that before we touch anything, before we spend anything for Christmas. We want to make sure that we have money in savings, and we don't want to just save to spend it all. We want to save so we can have some money. That's our desire, to have some money. And eventually what we want to get to is that, we have money for a year's worth of living, right? Then we have money for 2 years worth of living, but you have it saved in your bank account. All right. Then we're going to talk about diversifying our savings and other things as time progresses. But our goal right now is to have at least 3 months of living in the bank, in savings. It could be in your, if not in your bank, in your sock drawer or wherever. We want to have at least 3 months set aside, at least 3 months set aside before we spend anything from what we have saved, because that's where we want to start from. Because when we start next year, we're boosting, because at the end of next year, then we want to have at least 6 months worth of living before we spend a dime. We want to build, and we want to continue to build. And the good thing about it is, if you have been putting your money in the savings account, if you've been putting in the bank, or if you've been putting in the CD or somewhere, that can bear interest for you, what would happen is, while your money is sitting there, it'll actually be growing rather than just sitting there doing nothing. We'll talk about diversifying our funds in future segments so that we can figure out what would be the best vehicle to use that would get us the greatest return. All right. Then we'll talk about investing. Yes. When you start talking about investing, then you start getting money by just using the money that you have. That's how the wealthy make more money. They invest what they have. And when they invest, then they get returns. Now, these are all only suggestions. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just trying to give you suggestions on what to do with your money, so that as time progresses, we'll have more money. We'll be able to say that we have this in the bank. We don't have to call anybody to borrow money, because we have money. We don't have to look for or rob from Peter to pay Paul to cover a bill, because what? We have money. So that's what we want to do. And then once we have this 3 months set aside, we want to leave that 3 months there. And if anything in your budget changes, you want to adjust your savings in that 3 month period to make sure that it reflects that you have more than enough to survive more than 3 months. Okay. So we want to put at least 3 months worth of savings away. Don't touch it. Don't spend it. If you're about to do your Christmas spending and all of that, okay, anything over your 3 months, we're good, right? If you can do 4 months, do that. But we want to make sure that we save some money and have some set aside. And once we have that set aside and we see that we have it there, suggest some other things to you that you can do with it that'll grow for you. All right. And then you'll never be concerned about whether you have a job or not, whether the money is flowing or not, because you have money and your money is working for you and it's making more money for you. We can make that happen. We can get to that point. But as a community, we have to change our way of thinking about it. And we have to do some different things with our money. So we've saved all year long. I know you were thinking that we were saving so that we can have money to spend for Christmas. Not just that. We're saving so that we can have money, period. not just for Christmas, so that we can have some money. Now, if you've disciplined yourself all year long and have done this all year long, then guess what? You're in good condition right now, and we can do some excellent things moving forward. Okay, so think about that. Now, your budget is filled out. Times 3, whatever your total is, times 3, whatever that amount is. Make sure that you have at least that still in your savings account before you begin to spend anything for Christmas. All right. That's your Money Monday segment. Okay, that's your Money Monday segment. We will begin talking about some other things next week, but for right now, let's make sure we keep at least 3 months worth of savings in our savings account before we spend one dime. Okay, we got some more good gospel music coming up for you after these messages, but don't forget, join me at 2:15 for the Tee at 2:15 with the First Lady of Hype, where she's going to bring that good information, she's going to bring the funny, and she's going to teach us a little known Black history fact. And if you listen all week long, on Friday you have an opportunity to win $25 that you can possibly put in your savings account. How about that? All right. So keep it locked right here on the Glory 107.9 FM. More good gospel music coming up right after these messages.
This is Bibb Sheriff David Davis. What does it take to be a Bibb County Deputy Sheriff? Physical agility? Yes. Mental aptitude? Of course. A moral compass that allows you to determine right from wrong? Absolutely. But it takes something more. A desire to be part of something bigger than yourself, a commitment to serve with respect and understanding when people need you the most. If you possess these qualities, please apply today. Call our recruiter at 478-621-5605.
You don't need to dream about driving a Nissan anymore. Peaches Stewart wants to make that sweet dream come true. Peaches is specializing in sweet dreams coming to pass. Yes, they've got the vehicle for you at Butler Nissan. Whether it's a Nissan or any other type of vehicle to choose from on their lot, Peaches says make that call at 470-651-1637. That's 470-651-1637. Peaches is her name, and making sweet dreams come true is her game. She makes owning a new vehicle easy. Call Peaches right now. 470-651-1637. 470-651-1637. No need to dream about driving that new Nissan anymore. Peaches Stewart wants to make that dream come true. Don't forget about the special financing that will help you leave the walk and take a ride. 470-651-1637. 470-651-1637. Your connection to Peaches Stewart at Butler Nissan. Did you say high praise at high noon? Yes, it's On with Don, giving you a high praise every day at 12:15. Join us live on Facebook and on 107.9 and 980 AM WDDO. Don said, you don't necessarily need a reason, just an